Well, here I am. I'm at the Yamaha Artist Services Hollywood. And this is a place here where I've been many times, working on a lot of new gear and things. There's a guitar showroom over here, photo studio back there. Taking a bunch of photos there. A lot of the musicians around Los Angeles come here and they check out the Yamaha products and get custom stuff done and all kinds of things of that nature. But I'm here today myself to talk about the brand new Yamaha Attitude Limited 3. And here it is here, my brand new Yamaha Attitude Limited 3. I love this bass. I'm very pleased with it. Please keep in mind that everything on the bass, all the refinements, changes through the years, through all the Attitude models, they've all come from real life experience. Thousands of shows, literally hundreds of recording sessions, where the features on the bass and the priority and of importance of what we need on a bass and what we don't need on the bass is all brought in line. And so this bass is the culmination of many, many years of experience. A lot of blood, some sweat, and tears as well. Okay, now we're going to take a trip across the Pacific Ocean to Hamamatsu, Japan, the Yamaha factory, where these basses are put together. Show you an in-depth look at all the things that go into the Yamaha Attitude bass. Hello everyone, my name is Billy Sheehan. I'm here in Hamamatsu, Japan at the Yamaha Music Craft Factory, where they hand build with incredible craftsmanship my wonderful Yamaha Attitude basses and all their custom Yamaha guitars, basses, and beautiful musical instruments. So we're going to look at all the steps that go into making these instruments and explain to you why I think they're just fantastic. So come out with me and we'll take a look inside, and I think you'll enjoy this very much. Come on along. Well, here we are with the ARE process, which is Acoustic Resonance Enhancement. Most people like older instruments. They sound great. But there was a little bit of a dilemma with Yamaha, as they make new instruments. You can't make an old instrument. So they went on quite a course of research and an adventurous research into how can we make wood behave and sound the way old wood does. And they did come up with an actual process that they can do that, which is the ARE process. The bass I'm playing on the tour I'm on currently is of course made of this wood now, and it's just alive. It's got an aliveness to it and a sound and a sonic bounce to it, if you will, that's like no other bass I've had. I love all my Attitude basses, the earlier ones as well, but this new one with this process really puts it over the top. Wood has, to some degree, even old wood has sap in it from when the tree was alive. And as the wood ages, it crystallizes and changes the whole character of the wood. That's why old instruments sound so great. And that's one of the things that happens with the ARE process on this wood. Okay, we're inside Yamaha Music Craft, and we're going to see the assembly of the body for the Yamaha Attitude bass. Okay, so here's the slabs of wood that are going to be made into the Yamaha Attitude body. And as you can see there, they're cut out ready for the spline piece to go in. But one important thing is they're already lined up, and so that the wood grain corresponds to each other piece. So this wood grain here is in this direction. This one is reverse, and this one is the same. So we have three pieces of wood acting as one, not only sonically, but also mechanically, because their grains are lined up, and it's much less likely for a body to warp or change over time in a way you don't want it to when they're lined up properly like this. Here we are with yet another step in the process. This gentleman here is going to be drilling some holes in the body, very special holes that I'll explain to you. The other ones were done a little bit different. Inside we had some bolts holding it, the neck on the body. It was a solid, rock solid, great neck to body joint, the best that I know of. But now, this time we actually took it a little bit farther. We got 3 bolts going in the back into the neck, as you'll see as we move along. But these two, you see that it was on an angle. They go in on an angle so that the neck is grabbed by 2 screws and pulled, and its end grain is pulled to meet the end grain of the slot inside the body. So it's almost like it's a one-piece instrument. Okay, so now we're going to go to the second most important wooden component on the bass, the neck. These are neck blanks. My friend Inagake here will show you how they put the truss rod in. But before he does that, this is the old truss rod from the original Yamaha Attitude bass. And it's a fine truss rod, but it's single action. It only bends one way. And it's a little large. The new truss rod is double action, bends both ways. It's smaller and allows us to use more wood and less metal, which of course makes it a finer instrument. So Inagake here will show you how they do this. And a truss rod is very important because that keeps your neck aligned. Sometimes as the weather gets wet or dry or hot or cold, the neck can change. You might need to do a little tweak once in a while. And the truss rod allows you to do that. And the newer truss rod makes the bass a little bit lighter, makes it infinitely more adjustable by the double action truss rod, and results again in a bass that's easy to adjust so it can be made to play easier, and of course it sounds great. Okay, very, very important step is the frets. That's what the string touches to get the right note, and hopefully the right note. Putting frets in is very fine work. I've done all my own work on my basses except for refretting, because it really requires supreme craftsmanship. And the frets he's putting in now at the very top, the top 5 frets are actually smaller fret wire than the frets below it. Years and years ago, I had a refret done, and a friend of mine was doing it, and we decided to try an experiment and use a smaller fret wire up top for sharper intonation and a little bit more accuracy. So that's one of the features of the Attitude bass has always had. It's the top 5 frets are smaller fret wire. All right, the final sanding before the instrument goes to finish. I'd like to really point out an important thing here. We see machinery used for a lot of steps, but in fact, and I'm really pleased about this, most of the work on the Yamaha Attitude bass is done by hand. And that's a very important thing, I believe, because as players, as artists, you know, we're doing our craft, and it's nice to know that we're playing on an instrument that wasn't just stamped out in some big factory. There's actually artists who put their blood, sweat, and tears into creating the instrument we play. Okay, this is the final step. How you doing, okay? Very nice. Sonic blue is the color. As you can see by the wall, we've sprayed a few of them already. And this is the final step where the finish is applied by hand. And like I said earlier, seeing things done by hand on a beautiful instrument like this is wonderful, because a lot of these gentlemen's skill go into creating a beautiful musical instrument like this. Can I spray a little bit? It's okay? I can do a little bit? Don't worry, I won't mess it up. Here we go. You give me this thing here. I pick this up, and And it's not quite as easy as it looks because you've got to get all the bends and all the curves, do it absolutely correct, and not have it drip at all. I know from trying to spray paint things at home, and it probably happened to you too, it's hard to really do it right. It has to be done by hand, it has to be done by an artist. So this gentleman's going to take over and do it properly so that I don't mess it up. There's some attitude owner doesn't want to get anything less than the best. Okay, very good. Okay, a very important, one of the final steps, not the, but a very important one, is fret dressing and fret leveling, where the truss rod is adjusted, the neck is made absolutely flat and absolutely right, and they measure with an absolute straight edge to make sure no fret is up too high or too low. So as your string goes down that neck, every fret you get a good solid note and you're not rubbing on a fret you shouldn't be rubbing on. Okay, final assembly. This gentleman is putting the tuners on, including the hip shot detuner. All the features that the bass has, other than the neck and body, now are assembled at this point. So, what's happening on the bass end? He's assembling the tuners now, the string holder, the hip shot detuner. The nut was already assembled at the end of the fretting. Down here we're going to have the strap buttons put on. As you saw in one piece, this whole section goes on with this pickup, with the woofer pickup. The DiMarzio pickup pops in there also, probably before that, of course. The jack plate is another new feature of this instrument. One of the only problems we had with the old Attitude basses was we had to use a special kind of a jack in this section here. And rarely did they ever fail, but I did have one fail once, and it was hard to adjust them in case the little part that hooks onto the tip of your plug when you plug it in sometimes bends out of shape a little bit, and you can't get in there to fix it. Now this one we use normal jacks, so you can fix that no problem, very easy. And the double plate assembled this way is a little bit easier on production than carving it out of wood and then putting it in from behind like the old ones were. Then the bridge, of course, is put on. Now, you may have noticed if you saw closely the body, the way it was cut out, the bridges are countersunk into the body. Now, that was one of the tweaks I did on my old Attitude basses. I would always have them take it to the custom shop and have them drop the bridge in a little bit farther to get the strings a little bit closer to the body, just kind of the way I like that. A lot of people wanted the bass the way I used it, so we decided on this bass to do the countersinking of the bridge, just like it is on all my basses. So that's already built in. Pickups, knobs are put on afterwards, after the assembly of the plate and pickguard are put in there. And then basically it's assembled except for the strings, and they'll be put on at some point too, I assume. And then we actually have now what's beginning to look like an actual beautiful sonic blue Yamaha Attitude Limited bass. Version 3, pretty awesome. Well, it's quite a journey all the way to this point. Okay, I can't read Japanese, but I think that says final inspection, I'm told. Anyway, this is the room where they do the final inspection of the Yamaha Attitude basses, and I'm gonna go in there and actually inspect it myself, just to kind of show them. Would you mind if I inspected that bass and checked it out? This is going to be packed up eventually and shipped out. I guess they check to make sure both the pickups are working all right, plug it in, and I get the make sure both of them are. Got a little amplifier under there. Now he's got a whole bunch of tools here too, where he does final little adjustments, pickup height, intonation, string height, and all those little things, and also just make sure everything's working. All right, now it's time for my final step, which is to sign the certificate of authenticity that this is my bass and it's made to my specifications, and they, as we see, they just did an amazing job. So I'll sign this up. going to pack it away. So when you get this bass and you get this from it, I'm the guy who signed it. And now it's going to be shipped off to some musician somewhere, and I hope he enjoys it very much. I hope he enjoys it half as much as I do, and that'll be a lot. Okay, well, there you have it. That's quite a guided tour of the Yamaha Attitude bass. I can't tell you how honored I am to have so many incredibly skilled craftsmen work so hard with so much attention to detail to put this bass together. The bass means a lot to me. All the features designed into the bass were developed by real-world experience of me actually playing on stage over the years. And all of that experience going into these basses to bring a product to market that is just second to none, in my humble opinion. And I hope if you get a chance to pick up the Yamaha Attitude bass and give it a try, I hope you see how much attention to detail went into it and how much hard work. And I hope it serves you well. I'd like to thank everyone from Yamaha for having me here today and for creating just a beautiful, beautiful instrument for me to play. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, they got a little box to put me in.
Wow. Sometimes just by putting your ear up to the instrument and getting just it's as close as you can get to it, and just hear the tonality. I know you can't hear it now on this video thing, but it's just alive. It just rings like a bell. And I'm so pleased that I have this instrument, but I'm also excited for a lot of other players. I think they're going to really enjoy playing on this, no matter what their style happens to be, no matter what they're into musically or whatever. I think this is going to serve a lot of artists very, very well. I'm really pleased about that.